Hello and welcome back to another video. So today we are going to talk about the ascendant, also called the rising sign. So here, the ascendant is the sign that was rising on the eastern horizon at the time of our birth. So if you think of the sky as at the time of your birth, as a snapshot here, your rising sign is literally the point of dawn in that very, very moment. So it's the beginning of your personal astrology story. Your rising sign represents the way you step into life. It's the first energy radiate when you meet someone new. Your facial expressions, your body language, even your tone of voice. So you could think of it as your cosmic introduction before anyone gets to know you deeper, which is your sun sign, which is who you are at the core, your true essence. They first meet your rising sign. So if your sun sign is the soul of who you are, then your rising sign is the mask that you wear. Not a fake one, not at all, but it's like your energetic outfit that you instinctively put on when you face the world. Now, if your rising sign is the same sign as your sun sign, then there isn't much surprises because basically you are similar to um, when people first get to know you, you are similar to who you are at the core. This isn't the case if your rising sign is different to your sun sign. So once people get to know you better on a deeper level, they get to know the your sun sign qualities. All right. So why it's so crucial to know your rising sign? So here, your rising sign is so much more than just a personality layer. It's the energy that opens every chapter of your life. So here your rising sign shows how you approach the world, how you react to new situations, and how people perceive you before they've had a chance to know you better. So here to give an example, let's say your sun sign is in the sign of Taurus. So here we would say that Taurus is connected to steady, grounded, calm energy. But here, if your rising sign is Sagittarius with Taurus sun, who you are the core, the sun sign, then here, when people get to know you or they meet you for the first time, you might come across as someone full of curiosity, someone adventurous, someone very expressive. People might assume you are spontaneous, even though at your core, you crave stability. That's the Taurus energy. Or perhaps maybe you are a Cancer sun, someone who is very nurturing, very intuitive, sensitive as well. But here with an Aries rising, you appear as someone independent, confident. Others might see a fire in you before they ever notice your softer side of your essence. That's why your rising sign is so, so important. It's the first impression you make on the world, but it also sets the stage for your entire birth chart. Now, here, your rising sign determines where each planet falls in your chart, meaning that it defines the houses, the life areas that your astrology operates through. So your rising sign literally shapes the structure of your destiny map. So when people say, I don't relate to my sun sign, it's often because their rising sign energy leads the way. All right, so let's dive deeper into the difference between the sun and the rising sign. So the inner and the outer you. So here your sun sign and your rising sign work together, but they express two completely different sides of you because your sun sign represents your inner light, your inner essence, who you are when you're comfortable, when you're authentic, and when you're at peace with yourself. It's your essence, it's your life force, and the part of you that shines naturally when you feel safe. Just be. Now, your rising sign, on the other hand, is your outer shell, your outer energy, your outer persona. It's the way you step into a room, how you carry yourself, and what others instantly sense about you, even before you say a single word. So you could be a Pisces sun, someone who is very creative and gentle, deeply, deeply emotional. But if you're a Capricorn rising, you might come across as someone composed and practical and focused. People might not realize how soft and imaginative your inner world truly is until they get to know you better. Or perhaps you are a Leo sun, someone who is vibrant, expressive, playful, but with a Virgo rising, Virgo ascendant. So in this case scenario, you might appear more modest, more observant, more detail oriented at first. So it doesn't mean that you're not a Leo, not at all. It just means that your Virgo energy manages how you present that Leo warmth to the world, to the outside world. So think of it as this way: your sun is who you are becoming, and your rising sign is how you begin. The rising sign shows your instinctive approach to life, how you start new things, how you meet change, and how you make that all important first impression. And when you align both, when your inner sun energy supports your outer rising energy, that's when you start feeling truly authentic and magnetic. All right, and this takes us to part number 4. So, here, now that you know how powerful your rising sign is, let's talk about how to find it. So, first of all, to calculate your rising sign, you will need 3 key pieces of information. So, first of all, your date of birth, then your place of birth, and most importantly, your exact time of birth. Remember that the time needs to be as accurate as possible because even a difference of 10 to 15 minutes can completely change your rising sign because the ascendant moves about 1 degree every 4 minutes. So that's how precise this part of astrology really is. Now, if you're unsure about your time of birth, check your birth certificate or ask a member of family who might remember. And if that's not possible, then I can help you with to find out your time of birth through a birth chart rectification. So please reach out if you need help with that. All right, so now let's explore what each rising sign represents. Here we'll start from Aries. Aries rising, the first sign of the zodiac. This is a fire cardinal sign. So here, with if your rising sign is an Aries, then you have a very energetic, go-getter presence that people might notice straight away. Generally, here, think about the times when you walked into a room. Generally, here with that Aries energy, the atmosphere usually shifts. And this is because you move with purpose, you move with confidence, and that there's this little spark that generally comes out of your aura. And this energy is connected to courage and movement, motivation. So people often see you as someone decisive, maybe even competitive, independent. Generally, here under the influence of this energy, you probably like to initiate, whether that's leading a conversation or organizing plans or jumping into something brand new before others have even thought about it. But strength and dynamic energy that is connected to the Aries ascendant, it's at times might come across as impatience or pushiness, especially if you're not aware of your pace. So a simple way to balance this energy is to slow down your approach, maybe just a little if you feel like things are just moving too fast. And remember to listen before leading, read before signing, this sort of dynamics. Because if you take these considerations into account, then you will still be seen as someone confident, but also grounded and considerate. So here Aries is ruled by Mars. So here this also magnetizes your vitality and exercise, movement, or generally taking a little walk here and there before a big meeting, before some important events can really, really help you to channel that fiery presence in a much productive way. All right, so let's have a look at Taurus. Taurus here. Taurus is the grounded one. So, generally, here with this ascendant, you give off a calm and soothing, reliable energy that can make people feel safe, that can make people feel at ease. So, you probably notice that others tend to open up to you quickly, or perhaps you might notice that others find comfort in your presence. So, here, this is your Taurus rising sign here, the magic of this rising sign overall. And generally here with Taurus on the ascendant, you move at your own pace, and people can sense that steady, grounded energy coming from your aura. Now, at the same time with Taurus ascendant, you value quality, you value consistency and genuine connections. It's not about rushing or pretending, not at all with these energies. Now, at first impression, people see you as someone who's reliable, put together, and maybe even a little private at times. Especially here, you might need some time to trust the other. Of course, Scorpios on your seventh house cusp. So this is pretty relevant. But at the same time, you might at times seem reserved at first, but once you warm up, once you familiarize yourself with the situation, for example, this is when you feel more comfortable. This is when you feel more at ease. Now, here to support your rising energy, make sure that your environment feels good to your senses. So here you enjoy soft fabrics, good scents. So I don't know, if perfume or some kind of air freshener might be also pleasant. Natural light, and here candles in the evening to create a sensual ambience. But also you thrive when you feel when your body feels grounded. Now your chart ruler is Venus, so here harmony, beauty are part of your self expression. All right, so here Gemini's here. Gemini's is the sign of curiosity, and it's a very expressive rising sign. So you're the kind of generally you are kind of a people's person. You are the kind of person people feel instantly comfortable talking to you because generally you bring light energy into any space. Here, Gemini is a mutable sign, and you naturally feel the energy of the atmosphere happening in a room, for example. You have this strong ability to find common ground. And generally, you also have this great skill to spark interesting conversations overall. People usually see you as someone intelligent, someone witty, full of ideas, and sometimes even younger than your age. Often here with Gemini, this is when that youth is preserved for quite some time. People with displacement often wear glasses. They use their hands to kind of during explaining and during conversations. This is very much the case. Now, the challenge of this placement of this rising sign is scattered energy. So perhaps you might jump from one idea to another. You might change topics frequently. Ideas hobbies, and there's that scattered energy, scattered focus, maybe even here sometimes talking too much or over explaining. So remember, you don't need to feel every silence because your curiosity already draws people into your space, into your aura. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury gives you this amazing gift of communication. So, here, when you use it with intention, then whether through writing or teaching, storytelling, mentoring, then you can make people feel seen. You can make people feel understood as well. All right, so let's have a look at Cancers. Cancer rising, Cancer ascendant. So here, with this rising sign, you have a soft and intuitive energy, and others can feel this fluid, this softness, warmth from you instantly. Now you come across as someone approachable, someone caring, someone emotionally intelligent as well. So you might find that people feel very open in your presence. So they find it easy to share their personal life, personal stories with you, even if you've just met them. Generally, they can sense your ability to hold space, to listen, to empathize and comfort. Now, your rising sign gives you this amazing generally very strong intuition, strong instincts, especially about people, about environments. So this also generally indicates that you can feel, you can sense when something is off, when something isn't working, when something is misaligned overall. So your first reaction very often to kind of sudden situations or some complex situation is to protect, is to nurture, but also at times to retreat. Now, at the same time, be mindful of not taking too much of others' emotional weight. The issue of boundaries comes into light here. So for this reason, it's essential that you remember to create gentle and healthy boundaries with others so that you can maintain that strength and warmth without feeling drained. Now, here, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So what this means is that the moon represents changeable energies. This indicates that your moods might be changeable and they might generally shift every lunar cycle. You might be easily triggered by new moons, full moons, eclipses. They might heighten your intuition, um, make it difficult to sleep at times as well. So generally being aware of the lunations, of the lunar cycles can help you to balance these energies. Now Leo rising and Leo ascendant. So when you walk into a room with this rising sign, people notice you. So you've got this natural presence, someone with a confident posture, someone with expressive eyes, someone with warmth resonating from their aura. So here, Leo energy is very, very magnetic. So you don't even have to try to stand out because you just do naturally. People see you as someone charismatic, someone strong, someone generous as well. So here at your best, you inspire others by being unapologetically yourself. However, if your confidence isn't grounded, you might worry about being overlooked or ignored, and that can make you try too hard to prove your worth. So, your lesson is to let your light shine without needing external approval, without needing external validation, because you rule from the heart here. And your chart ruler is the sun. So here, remember to also always check where the sun is also transiting in your chart, what area of life, because this also highlights the importance of the energies that should be really directed into this particular area of life. But at the same time, here, this is about, this energy is about being authentic. All right, so now let's have a look at the Virgos. The Virgos here with Virgo energy, which is earthy, which is mutable. Here, under the influence of this rising sign, you come across as someone who is calm, someone who is composed, but also detail oriented, as per that Virgo energy. People often notice you as someone who is reliable, someone who is organized, and someone they can generally count on, especially if they need some concrete advice. You have this amazing ability to notice what others miss. So this is generally this energy, this rising sign gives you this amazing analytical mind. Your mind is always analyzing and generally improving. So you analyze and you think of ways that perhaps things could be done better, more efficiently, more effectively. So, generally, at first, people might see you as someone reserved or quiet, but once they realize how attentive you are, they generally usually really, really value your insights. Now, your challenge here with this rising sign is perfectionism, wanting things to just be perfect before you launch a product, a course, before you take action, before you engage. Now the idea is to for the things to just be right. But here your gift, your talent is in refinement, in improvement, not in control. So here, with Virgo rising, it's essential not to fall into a pattern where you need to control every single step, every single detail. It's about here refinement, improvement in a balanced way, but also being fine with things being just right before moving forward without things having to be absolutely perfect. Now, here Virgo is ruled by Mercury, same as Gemini. So this suggests that you generally thrive when you can express your knowledge through teaching, mentoring, through improving, refining. All right, so now let's talk about Libra, Libra rising, and Libra here. Libra, generally, those with Libra, if your sign, rising sign is in Libra, this gives you a lot of graceful energy, likable energy that instantly puts people at ease when they meet you for the first time. Now, here with Libra on the ascendant, you are someone who is diplomatic, someone who is attentive, someone who is generally naturally good at balancing group dynamics as well, especially here, one-to-one connections and small surroundings, group activities. Generally, people see you as someone who is stylish, someone who is kind, composed, someone who sees to have it together overall. But generally, you instinctively can also read other people's emotions, emotions of any space. Also, you've got this amazing ability to create harmony, harmonious energies, surroundings. Now, at the same time, with Libra on the ascendant, this indicates that relationships, unions, partnerships are a central theme of growth in this lifetime. So you thrive when you collaborate, when you join forces with others, but your lesson is to avoid losing yourself in trying to keep everyone happy. So here, people pleasing. All right, so here Libra is ruled by Venus. So here Venus is connected to beauty and balance, creativity. So here the beauty of this placement is the ability to see both sides and bring people together. All right, so now let's talk about Scorpio. Scorpio, this here Scorpio is connected to a very intense and powerful aura. People notice your energy even before you speak. So you seem mysterious, you seem magnetic, but also deeply self possessed. Now, Scorpio ascendant, Scorpio rising energy gives off emotional depth and a quiet strength. So generally here under the influence of this rising sign, you've got this ability to, the strong ability to read between the lines. You can sense other people's motives with ease. Also here, you tend to protect your privacy until you feel safe. Now, because your energy is so strong, Others may also project their own fears or fantasies onto you, which is why here you need to remember about setting clear and healthy boundaries with others because you don't own anyone access to your own private inner world. Now, here, Scorpio is ruled by both Mars and Pluto, traditional ruler and the modern ruler, Pluto. So, generally, Scorpio rising energy teaches transformation through self awareness. Self awareness is one of the big themes of people with this rising sign. Now, when you trust your instincts, when you trust your gut, your intuition, and when you use your intensity for healing, for creation, for helping others, then you can become a force of empowerment for others. And this is really huge. Now, here, when it comes to Sagittarius, Sagittarius radiates with optimistic, very optimistic and warm and adventurous aura. Generally, people see you as someone who is open minded, someone who is confident, and someone who is also honest. Sometimes too honest. Tendencies to watch out for is maybe being too opinionated at times, but generally, with this rising sign, you approach life with big picture vision. So you are probably drawn to travel and learning, or perhaps experiences that can help you to expand your perspective. To broaden your horizons, your wisdom. Generally, here, Sagittarius rising energy inspires others to think bigger. You generally remind people that life is meant to be lived fully. So it's about big picture thinking, it's about adventure, spontaneity. And this rising sign is kind of against kind of limitations or overly limiting vibes, energies. So something to watch out for is to generally be mindful of overpromising or overextending yourself because in this case scenario, your enthusiastic, spontaneous, adventurous energy can lead to a possible burnout. Now, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter and Jupiter. So overall, you tend to shine when you invest in yourself, in your own growth and development, when you teach, when you share your stories, your opinions, for example. Generally, here, Sagittarius rising energy can be really contagious, especially when it is grounded in the reality. All right, so now let's have a look at Capricorn, Capricorn rising sign. So here with Capricorn ascendant, this aura can be pretty quiet, and generally with this rising sign, if you're not trying to lead, people sense your reliability, people sense your strength. Capricorn rising gives you a mature, composed presence, someone who generally means what they say and follows through. So, generally, people may assume that you have it all together, even when you're still building, creating, refining behind the scenes. You take responsibility pretty seriously, and sometimes it can also mean that you appear more serious than you feel. So your lesson here is to let others see your warmth, to let others see your sense of humor as well. Now, your rising sign is Saturn. Saturn is the Lord of Karma, structure, boundary. And generally, this also suggests that your rising sign energy builds, creates success slowly but gradually. But once you achieve something, it lasts. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality. If you're really motivated to achieve a certain goal, to reach a certain milestone, here with Capricorn ascendant, you've got the right mindset, determination, and self-discipline to make it happen. Now, Aquarius, under the influence of this energy, this rising sign, you give off a friendly yet very independent vibe. So a mix of approachable and intriguingly different energy. Now, Aquarius people tend to stand out without even trying too hard. Generally, you're open to everyone, but at the same time, you are usually not attached to no one's expectation. So people might describe you as someone unique, original, slightly unpredictable as well. And you often tend to attract unusual people into your life, perhaps some unusual friends. Generally, you resonate best with those who allow you and let you overall express your own originality and the humanitarian side of your essence. Now, here, Aquarius is ruled by two signs. The traditional ruler is Saturn, the modern ruler is Aquarius. So, generally, with these energies, you are here to blend both. So, innovation, progressive thinking, originality with structure, determination, discipline. So, your challenge here is staying connected while keeping, maintaining your freedom. Now, when you embrace your difference, your originality, your uniqueness, at the same time, you give others permission to do the same. So, you can be a great inspiration to others, to the collective. Now, when it comes to Pisces, here you have a rather soft, dreamy energy surrounded around your aura that makes people feel calm, that makes people feel safe. So there is something otherworldly here about you. People might describe you as someone artistic, creative, quiet, wise. Pisces rising energy gives you natural empathy, intuition as well. So you tend to sense others' moods instantly when you get to know them, when you see them, sometimes too deeply. And at the same time, you might also absorb other people's energy without knowing. So your challenge here is to keep your boundaries strong, is to protect your sensitivities, to ground yourself regularly through creativity, through rest, through time spent near water. Now, here Pisces is ruled by two signs, yet again, another sign ruled by two signs, Jupiter and Neptune. So this also makes you a mirror for others in many ways, because when you learn to anchor your energy, when you learn to ground your energy, then your compassion, your sensitivity becomes your greatest power. All right, so there you have it. Your rising sign, as you can see, isn't just your first impression, it's the tone of your entire life story. And when you understand how your rising sign energy works, you can show up more intentionally in your work, in your relationships, in your life overall. All right, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video.